Welcome back to the Lemon Boys. I'm Jay.
I'm Christian.
We're the Lemon Boys.
We're the Lemon Boys, and you're gonna have to deal with it.
Dude, I have so many thoughts regarding lemons, like different things that we can do. Like cutting them out, putting them on the eyes, putting one in the mouth, and just biting as hard as you can and letting the juice fall all over.
For what?
For photos. For like a photo shoot.
Are we starting an Instagram?
Yeah, I mean we should. Obviously, we need to be on all the social.
You're not
medias.
wrong. We should probably just get those handles just in case. For when we blow up like Barstool.
Exactly.
Become bigger than Barstool.
Obviously.
Barstool wants to become us.
They want to be the Lemon Boys.
Did you? This is really has nothing to do with any of our topics, or at least my topics. When the whole NIL thing came out with the college athletes and you can get paid, whoever the frickin' president of Barstool is, I can't think of his name.
Oh,
right
David
now.
Portnoy?
Yeah, he came out and basically said a video of like, hey, if you're a college athlete and you want to be a Barstool athlete, just DM us and we'll give you whatever you want.
What?
And like merch, pizza.
Why didn't we hit him up?
Because we're not D1 athletes.
Yeah, but you're right. Good point.
Nor were we. But
No.
point being, all you had to do was just be an athlete and send them a message, and you'll get like a sweatshirt, a backpack, whatever. And I'm like, that's great. Obviously amazing for the kids now. But what about like the kids 10 years ago who didn't get that? Like, I don't know. Aren't there any reparations for?
You bring up a great point because this takes me right into a topic that I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's roll into topic number 1.
Do you know who Quinn Ewers is?
You know, I saw that on your laptop, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is.
So he is this high school athlete who has a dirty mullet, but is going to be the next best QB football coming up. I believe he has already committed to Ohio State. He's a junior in high school going into his senior year.
What? Where?
I want to say he lives in Texas. I don't know the high school. But he committed to Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, according to the new NIL, and what is it? It is
NIL. I do not know what it stands for off the top of my head.
With the whole NIL situation, he is going to opt out of his senior year of high school in order to go to Ohio State and make millions. He was like, whatever, I'll just go to school then. I'll go make a million bones real quick because of the new NIL. I mean, is that not the most? All these other kids are going into their senior year. They're like, oh, we got prom at the end of the year. And this bonehead, I mean, he's not a bonehead. He's a smart dude.
He's financially responsible.
He's like, I guess I'll go make a quick mill. Go to Ohio State.
Quick mill. Don't get hurt. Also, NIL stands for name, image, and likeness. So technically they didn't like invent it. They're just calling it.
They just took the letters and they said, we're going to make those stick.
Yes.
Like an ant trap.
Okay, so is he at the moment at least good enough to play in college? He's not.
Yes. No. He's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. His arm, like where he could throw the ball from. That like college football.
That's not your thing.
Not my thing. Not something. I'm like, obviously I hone in on players for the draft.
Sure.
But when it comes to college football as a whole, I'm just like, I'd rather watch the pros. Like it's just me. Whatever.
I get it.
This kid though, I'm like, friggin', he is something else. I do hate his haircut, but hey, everybody has a choice. He probably looked at mine. He was like, I hate yours.
Well, so I think we talked about this maybe a little ago. It was probably in passing, but Saban came out at, I don't know what, a conference or whatever. He was talking to people about his quarterback who hasn't even played a game yet. And he said that he's more than likely going to make $1 million. He hasn't even played a game yet.
Stop.
I'm not mad at him for making the money.
Good for him.
Again, we briefly talked about this, but it's the whole concept of like, is the NIL, is this going to screw up things for the future? Because kids are going to go to certain schools because they're like, oh, I'd rather make money than go to certain. So like, is Alabama and Ohio State and all of like the college playoff teams that are all like Clemson, are they always going to have the best pick of the litter Not that they probably already have been, but now
Sure.
if there's money
If
involved,
there's money involved.
and they're like,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, especially because how many of these guys are like, oh, well, maybe I'll never, maybe not with these schools specifically, but other schools being like, I might never make it to the pros.
Correct.
In general.
Well, yeah, there's like a 2% chance. That
Yeah. So why
to the
not
pros.
try to make as much as I can playing college ball and then go be a dentist
Which
for
is
the rest of my days?
honestly, no. I was watching the
Give
Olympics.
a lot of people a lot of credit to be a dentist. I would not want to be fiddling around in people's mouths.
I was watching the Olympics, and I don't know who they were talking about, but he was just like a normal athlete, and they were like, "Yeah, he's an accountant," and I'm like, "You shut your mouth."
Yeah. So
Like,
he's Ben Wyatt.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, "There's what? Did you have to like take vacation time for this?" Like,
Hey, boss, I know I only get 12 PTO days. Can I extend that to 16? Gone to Tokyo.
I think it's more impressive that like having a full-time job and still being able to train.
Yeah. I mean, how old is he?
I literally forgot everything about it.
Okay.
He might have been like an archer, which I've been watching a lot lately.
Archery?
Yeah, it's wildly exciting.
I mean, if you watch the old Robin Hood movie, that's all you need to see.
Yeah, no, it's
Split it down the middle.
It's great.
Bullseye.
it's
Oh, you ever watch the old Disney Robin Hood with the fox? He's the little fox.
see. I immediately went to not the Jungle Book. Yeah, I went to the Jungle
Well,
Book.
that's not what I'm talking about.
I know, but you said like a fox and a bear, and I immediately
There's a bear in the Jungle Book, but there is no fox. Everybody has those days.
I don't see if I saw it, it's probably like once.
Okay, never mind
I
that.
was more of a Jungle Book kid.
Whole reference is lost.
Did you end up seeing Cruella yet?
I have not. Did you?
No, because
Oh, okay.
you still have to pay for
30
it, right?
bucks on Disney Plus. I ain't got.
I'll pay for that.
I know, and I'm like, I don't even know if it's in theaters or is it just Disney Plus.
Unsure. While we're on the topic of Disney Plus,
Talk to me.
the Black Widow.
Yes, I have not seen it. Don't spoil it.
No, I haven't seen it either. More so Scarlett Johansson news. So in Scarlett Johansson's contract, she was supposed to, or as a lot of stars do, they get a percentage of the box office sales of the movie. It's very common. However, in her contract, it technically bombed at the box office. It only brought in like 30 mil because they streamed it on Disney Plus.
And she didn't get any of that money?
And that contract was worded so specifically that she did not get any of that Disney Plus money. So she's suing Disney to be like, yo, give me my money.
I don't blame her. Yeah.
$30. Which is a whole other story. That's way too much money.
It's way too much money. I understand
To
the idea
rent
of
it.
being like, oh, like if you have 3 people, it's like you're going to the movie and getting a discount. What if I don't? I want to watch it by myself.
Me.
I enjoy watching movies by my lonesome.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to sit there and cry in the second Spider-Man movie with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone,
Too soon. Spoiler.
always going. I didn't say anything. It's sad. That's the spoiler.
Oh, then my spoiler was the spoiler.
You
Okay.
spoiled it.
No, they just know something. Of course, it's a movie. They just know something's happening. Perfect segue. Aaron Rodgers.
You could segue into Rodgers any day on any sports show. Doesn't. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, as you probably know, you're watching this right now. Aaron Rodgers has, confirmed, reworked his deal. He's going to be a Green Bay Packer for one more year.
One more year.
Yeah, according here, I just
more
have
year.
2 little things here. This is his reworked deal.
Lay it on me.
For those of you that may be not familiar, the 2023 year in his original contract is voided, making 2022 his final year on the contract. And forfeiture provisions were removed from the contract, preventing the Packers from pursuing prorated portions of Rodgers' signing bonus, meaning that Rodgers would not lose any of the signing bonus or roster bonus money that he received this year, which is around $14 million.
Oh, just a hay penny.
Just so much happening there.
How do you feel about it?
Well, okay, I'm glad he's playing. As people that root for the Detroit Lions, it's not great as Detroit Lions fans.
Yeah.
However, he's too good of a player because he had mentioned on Wednesday of this week, so July 28th, Rodgers admitted that he considered retirement and detailed his offseason long standoff with the Packers. I don't know if that was real, if he actually molded over, or
maybe for a hot second.
Consider it. But the concept is, or the point being, he's too good of a player to sit out because of money or a contract standoff.
Too much talent to just back out of the game.
Yeah, or like take a year off like Le'Veon Bell did. And that hurts my soul because Le'Veon Bell's a fellow Spartan. I'm a fellow Spartan.
Oh, you went to the green one.
I did. I went to the good old college by the Cedar River.
Ooh.
Go green. Go away. So that was like a couple years into his NFL career, and so he was way much more in his prime than Rodgers at what,
36, 35?
Mid-30s.
It's got to be 35.
Too old, but still way too good. What are your thoughts?
Well, obviously, as a Detroit Lions fan, first and foremost, screw Rodgers.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, sure, you understand. But as you're saying, as a fan of the game of football, you watch the guy play and you're like, there's a reason he won the MVP last year. When I look at Rodgers as a fan of football, he is too talented as a fan to be like, oh, you're just done? You just decided to quit? And it's kind of sad. Like, Brady's 43 playing and Rodgers is 35. Like, if you took care of yourself or if your body was anywhere, I think just Brady sold his soul to the devil, but different story.
You did something.
Rodgers, I'm okay that he's playing one more year in Green Bay. Sure, part of me was like, oh, I hope he's just done because I can't stand losing to you 2 times a year.
Right.
They're the hardest days. I probably swear more those 2 days out of the other 363 that exist.
Just because of what he does to us and how he
does it. Yeah. And with just a straight face the whole time. He's just like, it's the worst.
Oh, yeah, keep talking.
So there's that portion to it. However, to me, I'm like, you know what? As a Lions fan, he's playing one more season. I'm okay with that because this season for the Lions, it's not a winning season. This season is all about player development. It's about the Lions making progress under a new staff. There's all of that that's happening. And so for me, Rodgers plays one more year. He's going to kick our butt 2 more times this year. Big whoop. That's all right. It'll be great. I'll just accept it for what it is. I wouldn't even want hope going into this year, being like, well, we're playing Green Bay and Rodgers isn't playing, so maybe we'll get a W, and tricking myself like a Lions fan into being like, winning season. That's not what I'm looking for. This year is all about player development, gaining a new culture shift. This way next year, when Rodgers is out of town.
And then we got Jordan Love to deal with.
The Detroit Lions make some big moves. We move forward. We take the NFC North. We go to the Super
You heard it here first, folks.
Super Bowl 2023.
So if you want to
not really
put your bets in on FanDuel.
We will win the NFC North by 2023.
That's okay, so 2 years?
2 years. Next year we contend for it. We lose in the end.
To who?
To the Vikings, obviously. Kirk Cousins, the most bland quarterback there is. But he doesn't care anymore. And you know what?
He doesn't.
I will say this about the Rodgers Packers standoff. I hate Rodgers, but I agree with what he did as a player. I'm totally fine with what he did. Green Bay, the organization, is out of their mind for the way they handled the situation.
Did you know that they were publicly owned?
Yes.
And maybe that's why, because they got too many cooks in the kitchen or whatever you want to use your analogy there. Did you see his analyst day or whatever, where he spoke to the press, basically coming back?
Yes.
And how he basically was just like, yeah, I'm really bummed that they let go, and then he's listed
he
off
named 10
all of these
10
players.
Packers. He's like, this guy, y'all suck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you know what?
He's right.
He's right. And as a fan of the game, I look and I'm like, Rodgers has been really screwed in Green Bay. He has won Super Bowl. One.
Really?
One. Do you not, like, in my mind, I'm like, Rodgers probably won 3. Like, if you were to just be like,
I was
rapid fire. How many did this guy win? This guy did. If you said Rodgers, I'd be like, oh, yeah, 3. And then you're like, wait. I'm glad he's got one more year. One last year that I have to deal with him in Detroit. Pelvic thrusting in the end zone.
Oh, he did that, didn't he?
Against Tampa Bay.
I remember that. I sent you that as like a GIF a few days later.
You ruined my Monday and Tuesday.
I know. was great.
And then we had men's softball, and that ruined my Wednesday.
Wow, that ruins a lot of days.
It's a weird situation. I'm glad that Rodgers is leaving. Thank God. I would love to see him play for another city and see what he could do in another city. Get out of Green Bay. Let Green Bay be terrible for 20 years. Please, God, I beg of you, send that manna down.
What's going to be so weird to see him in another
uniform? Yeah, it's like seeing Brady in the Bucks uni.
Yeah. Brady's just so good. I don't necessarily look at him in the uniform. I just look at him as a person. Because that's good. He has going on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that Devontae Adams wants to be the highest paid receiver?
I did.
And did you see that Green Bay is like, yeah, we want to make that happen, but apparently they have different ideas of how much the current highest paid receiver is actually making.
I did not see that.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins technically holds that
Big
title.
Hand Hopkins.
Yes. And he currently holds that title at $27.25 million per year. How the way that the Packers and many teams around the NFL view is that Hopkins' average is closer to $20 million a year. The reason why it's allegedly 27.5 is because of his previous deal when he was traded, and so it averaged out. And so the Green Bay Packers are like, well, yeah, he's getting paid $20 million a year, whereas Devontae Adams is like, he's actually making like $27 million a year. And so they're sort of fighting on that. But that's not even really the whole question. Is he worth it? Is Devontae Adams even worth $20 mil?
Kenny Golladay versus Devontae Adams. Who would I rather have out on the field? Kenny Golladay was like, I won 18 mil. That's what he got, 18 or 19 mil in New York. You know, we were like, we're not paying you that. We're going to rebuild,
Just
whatever.
A bummer he went there.
It's just a bummer that he went to the Giants. Doesn't even look good in the uniform. When I look at Devontae Adams, I think Adams is incredible. But 20 mil? That's just
20
so
a
much.
year.
That's so much. What is Stephon Diggs getting paid per year by the Bills?
It looks like it's 14.4.
Wow, that's a guy playing for the city.
Yeah, he got a 5-year, $72 million.
See, I'm getting very fed up with all these players saying, I want to be the top. Pay me the top.
It's a weird thing to wake up one day and have that thought. You're like, I think it's time that I get some recognition and make the most money, even if it's by $1. Like,
even if it's $5.
But I mean, I feel like that's also just the culture of football.
It's a business.
So it's ego driven also.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, they can add that to their trash talking repertoire.
I look at Devontae Adams, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would say 17 mil.
Is Devontae Adams a product of the environment in which Aaron Rodgers is his quarterback? Because that's the thing you got to look at, too, with a lot of wide receivers. Are they good because of their quarterback?
Sure. Nah, that's a good question. Okay, in the same way, I mean, how many wide receivers are good, but they look worse because their quarterback was trash? I look at Rashad Perriman with the Jets last year, and who did he have slinging the old ham to him?
The one and only Sam Darnold.
Sammy.
The one
Sammy
and
D.
only, who is now a Panther?
That is correct. Yep. So, of course, Rashad Perriman's stats look bad, but he gets traded to Detroit. I'm going to bring up Detroit all the time, so.
Spoiler alert, we live in Michigan.
Yeah, ooh, that's a lot of information. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I look at Rashad Perriman, everybody, he gets traded here, and they're like, oh, no, look at his stats last year. And I'm like, okay, well, look at who was throwing him the ball. Sure. So, Devontae Adams, look at who's throwing him the ball. If Aaron Rodgers is slinging the old hawk at him, I mean, it's going to look better. Well, you're going to have more attempts. You're going to have more yards. You're going to have long.
Oh, and look at Brady when he was in New England.
All those no-name receivers.
Literally, Belichick was like, what receivers don't we know? And let's go sign him.
Yeah, let's go find a skinny white dude and throw him out there. And you're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, but last time I checked, those guys pretty much, for the most part, all disappeared if they got traded or if Brady was not throwing them the ball.
Yeah, or 16 of them went to Detroit over the last 3 years.
Shut up. You're right.
I know.
And what did we do with them?
Yeah.
Not much.
Threw them down the old drain.
Yeah, because Brady wasn't throwing them the ball.
That's true. Stafford was. Wow. How's Stafford going to do in L.A.?
Ugh. Well, it's a bummer that he's in the NFC. Because if he was in like a different division, it would be way easier to root for him.
Different conference?
That's what I meant. Yes, conference. because he's still in the NFC.
Yeah, if he was playing for the Jags, I'd be like, let's go.
Oh, I'd be such a, maybe not a big Jags fanboy, but we'll see. I guess I can still root for him being a Ram because I know the Lions have no shot.
No, playoffs are not. They're not in this.
It'd be different if like we were contending and then he's just over there and I'd be torn because we play each other week whatever. But because we're not in any way, shape, or form gonna be most likely good this year, it's gonna be a lot easier to root for Stafford, and I hope he does well. His running back Cam Akers, is that the guy? Obviously out for the season with an Achilles injury. So that's just gonna make things more like Detroit by not having a running game.
No running game, and Stafford will be like, "This is normal." Nothing new, boys. So just it's hot out here.
If you're an LA Rams fan and you're watching us right now, just know that yes, in theory, your running back being out for the year, not great.
It's a bummer.
However, that's kind of Stafford's bread and butter. So you don't really have to worry.
That's correct.
Because that's what he did for 12, 13 years?
13, 12. No, you're right, 12 years.
So, bummer. But he might do better.
I don't know. I look at him and I'm like, I hope he has an MVP caliber season. God, I hope he wins the MVP. However, I hope they lose every single game. Every single game.
There's just always random people cutting their grass.
That guy's just riding a mower literally down the street.
No, I see people doing that at 7 a.m. And I'm like, this is the loudest effing city I've ever been in. I don't understand.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
My walls have brick on them. I can't be that bad of insulation. Anyways, there is I don't know if you've heard, there is a new superstar. Maybe he's 33. He's going to L.A. Basketball to create probably what is known as a super team, and that would be Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
He got traded on the draft night, so...
Oh, that's a weird night to do it.
Well, they traded him on draft night. They sort of finalized it. He's going to the Lakers for 3 players and a draft pick that happened. So technically 3 established players and 1 college athlete. However, the problem that I have with it is, I don't think he's worth it. I don't think he's worth those 3 players and the draft pick. But, here we are. He turns 33 in November, so, I guess he still has a little bit more left in the tank, but like LeBron, he's 35, 36, and he's already slowing down. So he joins LeBron and AD to what I would probably call a super team. We do have a super team over in the Nets, which is your old area.
Whoa.
Yeah, they were favored heavily to win the championship this year, and they fell a little flat. But the point being is he's sort of, at least in my opinion, it definitely looks like he went there to create a super team. He went there to play with LeBron. He went there to be like, hey, LeBron and AD, let's win a ring, because he hasn't won a ring yet.
Ring chasing, dude. Not a fan.
It seems like it.
Not a fan.
So I understand.
Sure.
You wanna win a ring. You want in any sport. However, if you are actually being true to yourself, when you actually think about it, you're like, but was this morally correct? Am I being honest with myself?
Right.
So it's like, yes, you won the ring, but the actions that you took to win the ring, does that sort of maybe make it not as good?
It definitely makes it less. Not that you didn't work for it, but I look at the way the Buffalo Bills are building. They've been building for 3-4 seasons. You get the quarterback, you build. And I understand football, basketball, very different sports.
Correct.
But I love the building approach, especially of a small market team. When people are like, oh, let's just get 4 or 5, 6 of our favorite people that are really good, and let's go to Tampa Bay. Let's go to L.A. Let's go to New York.
Let's go to a warm destination or a boppin' metropolis.
Boppin' metropolis in order to just get the ring. I hate that. I love when small markets win. The Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes.
The fact that they just won, and you know that basketball for me, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't care about basketball. It's loud. There's squeaky shoes. There's a buzzer. Why is it buzzing? It's a very annoying sound. It's just a hot take.
I get it.
Just a sour take. Like I have a
You're gonna
want to
in the comment section. You're gonna want to target him directly. His name's Jay. So
that's fair. That's fair. But like I look at Milwaukee and they win, and I love a small market winning. Now, ring chasing in general is just annoying. Is it less work? I wouldn't say less work. You're still putting in as much work as you gotta.
In theory, yes.
In theory, as the individual players, but all in all, I don't think you did it like as a city. You didn't do it the right way.
Yeah, it's the idea of super teams is an odd concept because in my mind, it's really you only really see it in basketball.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that you've really only got 5 people.
5 guys, yeah.
Maybe 6. But you got 5 starters that are on the floor. They're playing offense and defense pretty much the entire game. Football, yeah, you can have Tom Brady. Well, we know what he does with garbage quarterback or with garbage wide receivers.
Makes it happen.
There's so many other – there's like 11 other guys on defense that have to do their jobs correctly in order for you to win. It's same thing with baseball. Yeah. You can have the best 5 pitchers like Detroit had in 2011, 2012 when we went to the playoffs, went to the World Series, and then we got swept by the Giants in 4. And we had Verlander, Scherzer, Price, I don't know if Galarraga was on that team, Porcello. Speaking of Scherzer, he got traded to the Dodgers. If you care about baseball news, I don't know if that's a ring chaser per se. I think that's just like the Dodgers making a playoff push.
Sure,
we see that a lot in baseball.
Yep.
Deadline is the 31st. Today's the 30th, so makes sense. But I don't love the idea of super teams. Luckily, we only get to see it in basketball for the most part.
Right. Yeah, I really feel like football. Tampa Bay feels
hard.
Like this is one of the first super teams in a while.
Yes, because A, they have a lot of good talent, and B, none of the talent left.
Yeah.
Something that I want to – I don't necessarily quiz you on. I just want to get your take. First of all, ESPN has just been all over Madden 22.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it because I don't think they're owned by the same company.
No, there's just – nothing else to talk about.
There's nothing else to talk
so
about.
So ESPN's like, they ranked this guy
100%.
Yeah,
so they are just pushing it.
Crappy content.
Yes, we're going to talk about it.
So now it's our crappy content.
So now it's our crappy content. Well, So Madden came out with their top quarterbacks.
Okay.
Top rated quarterbacks. And I want to... Who do you think is number 1?
It's got to be Patrick Mahomes.
That is correct. Who's number 2?
It needs to be Josh Allen.
He's in the top 10.
Well, oh my God.
Okay, so who's number 2?
Okay, who are the 2 people that were in contest for the MVP last year? Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen. Therefore, Aaron Rodgers should be number 2 at this rate if Patrick Mahomes is number 1.
That is not correct.
You're telling me the MVP of the league isn't 1 or 2?
No, he takes bronze in this one. Granted, this is according to Madden.
Yeah, Madden's ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous thing I've heard.
Yes.
Tell me. You know what? I'm just going to throw a left fielder out there. It should not be this guy, but I'm going to say the name. Lamar Jackson. Is it Tom Brady as number 2?
Tom Brady's number 2. So Patty Holmes at 99. Tom Brady at 97. Aaron Rodgers at 96. Who's number 4?
I'm going to go Stafford, number 4.
No, he didn't even make top 10.
Really?
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, wow, y'all really not on the Stafford train.
No. They're getting on the Stafford train now that he's in L.A., but West Coast, number 4? Russell Westbrook. No. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson comes in at number 4.
5 is Josh Allen?
No, 5 is Lamar. And I didn't even really look at this list until right now. I literally just pulled it and clipped it.
Is 6 Josh Allen?
No.
Is 7 Josh Allen?
7 is Josh Allen. No, I'm looking at number...
This is the stupidest list I've ever heard.
Deshaun Watson is number 6.
No.
And then number 8 is Jerry Jones's boy.
Dak Prescott.
who didn't even play last year, basically, who lost his ankle, comes in at number 8 with an 87 overall. And then we end off the top 10 with a couple of Ryans.
Matt Ryan?
He's number 10.
And then Ryan Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill's 9.
So it's Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers,
Wilson,
Jackson,
Watson, Allen, Prescott, Tannehill, and Ryan.
I would say Matt Ryan does not belong to be in the top 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that one.
And I would say Matt Stafford did belong, not even as a Lions fan. Because
Sure.
I'm like, Stafford, whatever. Stafford belongs in the top 10. I think he's a top 10 QB. And I think he's going to have a great year in L.A. And also, that is some serious bumpkiss because Josh Allen should have been at least top 3, and he wasn't. Thank you for hanging out with us on the first ever Lemon Boys
Lemon Boys show
episode. Yeah, this is a big day. This is a big day.
LBS. We're putting on some pounds, baby. Fade to black.
Also, real quick,
Hard cut. I don't care.
I don't know if you've seen or not. Have you seen Baby Boss?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to talk about our sponsor, Baby Boss. If you guys haven't seen Baby Boss, you're going to want to go subscribe to Peacock and use our affiliate code LemonBoys, which is not a thing. Don't do that. We don't want to get sued. Nor have we seen Baby Boss. However, we're toying with the idea of doing a watch party.
Mm-hmm.
So stay on the lookout for that. Also, if you want to sign up for our newsletter, we don't have one.